Spring is almost here and I am so excited to get back on the seat of the equipment and start doing some high-end grading work again. Let's go out into the shop. This ain't even funny anymore. I was getting really excited. The weather was really getting nice and hopefully this is our last snowstorm of the year. I really enjoy how beautiful this is, but I'm ready for things to start warming up and turning green. Hey everyone, I am so sorry that it's been a couple weeks since my last video. I haven't done anything on the equipment since the KC220 test I did on the cherry stump a few weeks ago. As far as my surgeries and recovery, I'm doing very well. I've had a few of you reach out wondering how I'm doing since I haven't posted anything lately. So I wanted to make something here real quick just to let you all know that I'm still here, I'm doing okay. And as you can see, the weather has not been very cooperative in getting any work done outside. We've had lots of customers calling since we are getting so close to spring, and I'm super excited to start getting some work done, get more seat time, and make a lot more people really happy with the work that we can do with this stuff. But as far as the new stump grinder is concerned, I'm going to try to run the equipment in a different configuration. I am going to put the dual wheels on, and I'm going to increase the tire pressure, and I think overall that would create a more stable platform and create a lot less overbiting and binding, which was occurring before. I guess that's my thought, is, you know, the attachment itself is incredible. It is awesome. It's extremely well built. The Ventrac tractor, of course, is extremely capable. But the thing about that is with the light footprint and the low tire pressure, it does allow for lateral movement in the sidewall. So I'm hoping with the increased tire pressure and adding the dual wheels, that will create a much more stable platform for my next test. Now I've taken a few measurements. I have not seen any data published on this, but the bottom center of the cutting disc is on the center line with the center of the tire. And the distance from the front of the tire to the front of the cutter is 29 inches. The disc is outboard, sticks outboard of the tire by 7.5 inches, approximately, from the measurements that I've been able to take. So even without the dual wheels on, just with the single wheel kit, you can go in 29 inches from your first cut until the front of your tire could potentially bump into the stump that you're cutting. So 29 inches, that's not bad. And if you would come in from the other direction, you would be able to get twice that dimension, which is still pretty sizable. It's 58 inches, which is just about the size of the largest stump that I've ever done, not including the root flare. So those numbers are okay. Even with the dual wheel kit on, after looking at it from that perspective, I think it'd be all right. So once we get a break, I'm looking forward to throwing the dual wheels on, which I run the equipment with duals on most of the time anyway. People ask, well, when do you run with the duals on? And my response is, when don't you? You know, you keep them on, or at the very least, you take them with on a job that you have. And if you have to take them off, fine. But if you can leave them on, leave them on. It allows you to tackle more terrain, and even in areas that are relatively flat, that just may be bumpy, it offers an overall better ride. It's just, that's the way it is. So I guess now that my weight lifting restriction is over as of Thursday, now I can go ahead and throw these wheels around and put them back on and get this thing ready to trailer and start heading out for the first jobs of this season. So it looks like the first thing I'm going to do, just to get the equipment warmed up, is I'm going to probably head up to my uncle's house. For those who don't know, my Uncle Jess is the first Ventrac owner in our family. He bought his first Ventrac, I believe it was 2001, an original 3000 series which I think looks really awesome, by the way. The 3000, the original 3000, just looks really sleek. It's a nice machine. He demoed a lot of different equipment. And the reason he had to do this is he had about 20 acres on the side of a slope that was just off of a highway that PennDOT improved and added 2 lanes, 1 lane going each way, and created a limited access highway. There were too many accidents occurring in there. So that is between Reading and Lancaster in Pennsylvania. So what wound up happening is PennDOT then, through eminent domain, took some of their property to make the highway wider, and that would have brought the highway even closer to their house, which, at that time was just by, a 2-lane major road. So they wound up picking up their house, moving it, I think 600 or 700 feet, maybe more. I'd have to look. What a project. Really neat to see that happen. And in widening the highway, PennDOT then created an additional road that ran parallel. The consolation being, they just cut their property in half and put an access road through it. They named the road after their family business, which I thought, was kind of nice of them to do. But in doing that, on the side of a slope, they had to cut into the bank to make the new road. And in doing that, they created a pretty steep slope that my uncle was looking for equipment to mow. So at that time, he was testing many different products. And once he tested the Ventrac, he couldn't believe how amazing this thing held on to those slopes. He was doing some testing, now on next to this new road they just built. And he was coming down the hill, and there was a car coming up this road, and they stopped, thinking he was out of control. And he stopped dead right on the hill, backed right back up. And people have gotten out of their cars and asked him, what is that thing? They'd never seen a Ventrac before. And again, this was over 20 years ago, and it was a very obscure product back then. Had it not been for my uncle, I would have never known about this stuff. And it was 4 years later that I would get my first Ventrac, Nellie here, our 4200. And I love this machine. Oh my gosh, this thing is incredible. And then we bought Gertrude here, our 2016 model. And just absolutely fantastic machines. Anyway, I'm sorry for getting sidetracked. I was talking about my uncle, and that'll probably be one of the first things I do with this equipment. So what I'm going to do, he just had a hip replacement. And so he's having a little difficulty getting around, and I love taking our Ventrac equipment up there and helping him out, because after all, had it not been for him, I would not have known about Ventrac at that time. So everything we do with Ventrac, I think about him all the time. And he's about an hour north of here, where that highway construction took place. Again, it was about 20 years ago. So I'm going to go up there. I'm going to help him out. I'm going to take the power blower here with the awesome electric actuator kit that I added to this, which is super cool, by the way. There's another video about that. Check it out at that link right here. So we'll take this, because he has a lot of leaves that he's got to clean up. He had a lawn guy come out, I don't know, I'm not sure when this was. We were just talking on the phone yesterday, and he said this poor guy had the biggest backpack blower that he knew about. And he was out there for hours and hours and hours, which my uncle kind of chuckled about. He said, I would have gotten that done in a matter of minutes with the Ventrac machine and the power blower. I don't even have the turbine blower, which is super cool, by the way. It's just, if you notice, we don't have much space in here. So anytime we even consider getting a new attachment, we have to figure out where we're going to put it. So I'm going to go up there, take care of his leaves, because right now it's just matted, and he's going to want his grass to come back in. And I've also used the aerator and the Gandy seed box to put seed in for him. In fact, that's featured in one of the videos on Ventrac's channel. Several of the videos that they shot featuring us on their channel are of me on my uncle's property. And again, I felt that it was very fitting, since my uncle introduced me to Ventrac in the first place, I thought, what better opportunity and place to shoot official Ventrac videos for Ventrac than on his property. So I'm going to get that done. And I also have some of my oldest friends. We go back over 40 years. They have a gospel radio station out in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. And last year, or maybe a little over a year ago, I used Gertrude here and the Tough Cut to clear a couple acres of field that they needed done so that they could put their new structure for a new building in there. And even the contractor that came out to put the pad in there, he said whatever equipment came in there to do that did an extraordinary job. And I'm thinking, well, thank you very much. Because the ground is very soft and very muddy, I was able to float over all that with a dual wheel kit and with the Tough Cut. And the Tough Cut just it does such an amazing job of just atomizing everything that you roll over. And I still think that the Tough Cut is probably the most fun attachment to use that I have. It's just crazy fun. So they had asked me, they reached out to me again, asked how I'm doing, and would like another section of field cleared for another project. So I'm looking forward to seeing them again, take the equipment out, shooting some video. I did not get video the last time I was there, but I'm not going to forget the cameras this time. So keep an eye out for those videos. They're going to be a lot of fun, and you get to see the Ventrac doing some serious work in real-world conditions, which is what you come to expect when you see videos on this channel. Listen, guys, if you have any other video suggestions, I encourage you to please leave them in the comments below. Let me know what you'd like to see. Give me some good video ideas so I can start shooting some more stuff. In the meantime, thank you for your support. Thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you all next time.